Hey, this is Rick and welcome back to another DIY tip. This tip is going to be on aquariums. I have been a big proponent of that filter right there. It's an XP3 filter. It's a canister filter. It's for my 55-gallon tank. I've got separate discharges there. They've been on prior videos. Well, what's going on is I recently had to have a disc replaced in my neck, and I'm limited to the amount of pounds that I can carry. That baby there, being an XP3 filter, is very heavy. That whole thing is filled with water and filter media, and it's hard for me to get out of there and change out. It's kind of really made me sad about the hobby because I like to keep my aquarium nice and clean. If you've seen my other videos, I put tile in the bottom of my tank. I have larger fish and they create a lot of waste, and that filter was doing a good job. I actually have another one that I keep as a backup, and I keep filter pads in there, and I just change them out and change some of the seeded bio material over, and I put it in that filter and I start it right back up. But like I said, that thing is just a bear for me to get out of there. I can't get out of there. I can't carry it. It's hard. It hurts me. I'm going to end up going back to my Marineland 350 hang on the back filter. If people are familiar with them, they're called HOBs. But I'm going to hack my HOB a little bit, and I'm going to still use the bio wheels that are on there. This would also work on the Emperor 400. I used to have a 400 also, but then I fell into the trap like everybody else did. Not so much a trap, but supposedly the ease and convenience of these things, which they are. You have individual media baskets that are in there, and it's nice to be able to change out whatever media you want to put in for your biofilter or for your polishing to be able to make your tank water nice and clean, such as filter pads or fill floss, whatever you want to put in there, scrubby pads, bio balls, ceramic media, whatever it is. But like I said, that's just entirely too heavy for me to handle. So let's get to the Penguin 350, and I'm going to set this up on this tank and let it run for about a week to recharge the media and make sure my water parameters stay the same, and then that baby's coming out of there. So if you're not familiar with these type of filters, this is the Penguin 350 filter. How this hang on the back filter is a little bit different than other filters. Is it has these bio wheels. What happens is this is your media wheel. The bacteria for the beneficial cycle for your aquarium lives in this little bio wheel. These spin from the water flow that comes up through the inlet here, goes through your media to whatever they have in there. They usually have filter pads. That water is then cleaned, and then the bacteria lives on this wheel spins, and it returns right back to the water. Now this thing has been used for years, and like I said, I fell into the thing of wanting the aesthetics nicer in my tank, and I decided to go with canister filters. This is going to be a lot easier for me to clean because this thing weighs like next to nothing. I can pick it up with 2 fingers. When you drain the water out of there, it won't be anything to clean. And it's hard to believe, but these are good for, I think it's up to 70 gallons. This is going to go on my 55. 350, meaning it will move 350 gallons per hour, I believe. I haven't looked at the specs on this filter in quite a while, but I'm going to change it out. But I had this in my box of fish stuff, and I figured I'm going to drag it out and try it. Comes with a media basket. You can put whatever media you want in here. It can be carbon, and you just fill it up and you slide it right in the back there. Now what used to be in there was a white filter pad. These were replacement filter pad cartridges that I used to get. They were quite expensive when you had to buy the individual pads. And these frames used to have like a filter pad on there like that. Well, you can see these get dirty really fast. And then the idea was to throw them out, get a new filter, which looked something like this, and you slide that in there. And that polished your water so that it came out nice and clean. Well, you can see with this material here, it's like that sill floss material, and this gets clogged up really fast, and then that backs up your filter. So I abandoned that idea, and I got tired of buying all them, and I ended up buying the canister filter instead and went that direction. But what I've done is I've hacked it a little bit. If you can see in here, you can see all that space in there. There's like probably 3 inches of space going down. So you can put some nice filter pads in there or something, and you can improve the efficiency of this filter, which is what I'm going to do. And I bought this filter pad material. It's nice and thick, and you can cut it to whatever length you want and just slide it right in there like that. And they'll go all the way down to the bottom there. But I'm going to use this as a divider, and I'm going to put that in front of the sponge, and that'll keep it away from the bio wheels. That way it doesn't keep the bio wheels from spinning. So we put that right in the front like this. That'll go all the way down there. And if you didn't have one of these, this was made by Tetra back in the day. I don't know if they still make them. They may. You can use the skeleton that was in the original cartridge and just take off the filter material, and it's going to act as a divider. That'll slide right down in there like that. Then you'll take that big foam block that we cut out, and you'll slide that right behind it. Now make sure when you cut it, it's snug. It doesn't have to be too snug because it'll buckle it a little bit. And there you go. Now you got your big heavy block pad behind there, or you can put several pads behind there, but I'll show you the link for the big block one. And now that's going to be quite more efficient. And you can see now, look at the surface area you're going to have. And now you can see the efficiency of that. All the nice and porous surface there, the bacteria will live on there, but these will also polish the water and act as a filter pad, and your water will come back to your tank nice and clean. And I'll also put links to any of the products that I show you on the description page underneath the YouTube video. So I'm going to go ahead and put these pads in. So it's a nice thick pad. We just shove it down in there. And the pad material I'm putting in there is 30 PPI. Now the big thing is, now with having that divider there, that's going to make sure that it doesn't impede the flow on your bio wheel, and you're going to get plenty of bacteria living in there, and it's also going to polish that water and take all the detritus and stuff out of there. The reason why I want to go this direction, not only is it going to be easier for me to clean and take care of, I was actually thinking about maybe going and putting a bubbler in. Now, if you don't have any of these dividers, it's no big deal. That slot's not that big. You can cut yourself a piece of plastic or a piece of plexiglass or something, a piece of screen material that's rigid that's just going to go right in there. An old piece of divider material for your tank will probably slide in there. Or you can pick these up. These aren't real expensive. I'm sure you can probably find them on eBay since people don't really use them that much anymore. So by putting those filter blocks in there, we've greatly improved the efficiency of this filter now. And the lid will go on there with no problem. Didn't really change much for the factory aspect of it. You can see these will still spin, no problem. So let's go ahead and install it on the tank. It looks and performs. Okay, so there you go. Now you can see it. There's nothing bypassing the filter material and running down here. That moisture is there from having to prime the pump and fill up the back of the filter. That baby is jamming right now. The bio wheels are spinning no problem. It's been probably about, no doubt, 10 years since I've used that filter. So these may have had some old biological that was in there, and hopefully once this runs for a little while, it'll get a little smoother. If it doesn't, I've heard, you can use a little cooking oil on there if it starts to squeak or it starts to get stuck. But even if these do get stuck, we've got these nice big filter pads in the back that are going to be able to handle the bio load, plus polish the water like I said. This now makes this filter much more efficient, and wait till you see the output. Hopefully you can see the output right there, how much it's spilling out. It's creating tons of oxygenated bubbles by breaking that surface compared to the original XP3 filter. The other reason I went this route is because I was going to use a sponge filter and put it over here in the corner, but my wife wasn't having that. The aesthetics of the tank, I've kind of gotten away from it. I've got larger fish now, and I went with the tile look to make it look a little nicer and easier to clean. But she said, your tank's looking really bare. Why don't you do something with it? So I'm not going to do the sponge filter in the corner. It'd be too cumbersome. I need a big one, that great big huge sponge filter. They work great. I do have an air pump, but I think this is going to work great. So if I've lost you on the convenience of this, why I've converted this filter over to sponge filters, this is the reason. Here's the big canister filter. When I've got to go to change this out, now of course it's empty now. You got to pop these off, remove the motor housing, and now picture this all full of water. You get rid of the water. There are 3 baskets in there. You can see there, 1, 2, 3. They make an XP4, which is actually 4 baskets for larger tanks. So what I have to do then is pull all these individual baskets out, pop them open. They're full of all kinds of scum and fish waste. And you got to pop them open, take out whatever media is in there, wash it out in some tank water so that you don't destroy the media, clean this outer enclosure out, clean the baskets out, and if you have filter sponges in there or filter pads in there, you got to take them out, throw them away, or put new ones in. And this can be quite an ordeal changing this out. Like I said, because of my physical limitations, this just doesn't work for me right now. So the reason why we've done this now and the ease convenience of it is, once you pop this off and you have your big filter blocks in there, right now I've got 2 of them in there. I have the bigger blocks in some tank water on the other side there, and I change them out periodically to get this charged up. And let's say we take this pad out of here. Now this is going to be full of fish waste, and you're going to have live bacteria growing in there in this porous surface. So you're going to take some tank water out and you're going to put it in a bucket. And then you take this filter sponge, just like a regular sponge filter, and you're going to squeeze it out in that tank water. You're going to get all that dirty stuff out of there. Once it comes out clean and you haven't killed too much of that bacteria because you're still in the tank water, you just take that filter sponge back out again and you put it right back into your filter. Now, of course, if the filter starts to get a little scummy, it's still not that hard to break down. You saw how light it is, and that's going to be a lot easier for me, and I hope this will be a lot easier for everyone else. Another thing is, don't throw away that tank water. That tank water is awesome for plants. Whatever it is you want to grow, whatever you feel like growing in your home, that water that you squeezed out of those sponges and that tank water will make those plants of yours blow right up. It can go into the garden, it can go into house plants, whatever you want to use. Save your money over nutrient solution and use your own fish waste to your benefit. So hey guys and girls, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So once again, share with your friends. That subscribe button is down there in the corner. You never know what kind of video I'm going to do next, whether it be DIY or product reviews. You'll never know unless you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know how your project works out. If you decide to do this hack, comment in the section below on the YouTube description of the video and let me know how it worked out for you. Take care.